Today, Nicole's here.
Hi.
Today is Hamilton Day. It is July the 3rd at 10:20 in the morning, Nevada time. And Nicole, being a fellow 18th century costume historian, she is also wearing a hand-sewn 18th century men's shirt for this, so she's also just...
It seemed appropriate.
Showed me right up. And if you guys are not familiar with Nicole, former co-worker, current neighbor, bestie, also part-time officiant, and TikToker extraordinaire. What's your handle?
Close call.
But
Ha.
Nicole's TikTok followers and our nerdery and my desire to watch Hamilton resulted in a 8:30 a.m. text this morning to Nicole going, "Hey, do you want to come over and do a reaction video for Hamilton?"
I was like, well, I don't have anything better to do, so sure.
Yay! So we've listened to the cast albums. We are both former theater kids. We are dress historians with specialties in the 18th century. We used to work together in 18th century land. So we're gonna watch Hamilton.
Got some very ruffly shirt cuffs going on here.
Yeah. It looks like he's wearing his dad's coat.
Very modern fit on the coats.
Yeah.
But the breeches fit appropriately.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see if they have the diaper butt, but...
Will we ever see diaper booty? Give us the booty.
Drabby.
No diaper butt. No diaper
Oh,
butt.
I'm sad.
Damn it.
You guys are so close to the fit now. And see, that's the thing. You need the diaper butt so that way you can get your leg up and you can sit down and your knees won't pop over.
Yeah. Oh, look at the details on their stays.
I mean, I like the way that they did the concept of stays without actually just straight up doing stays because, like, you can move in those, but not that.
Shut up. Damn it, Burr.
I don't know what's going on with his lapel collar thing, though. Like, that's not something I've ever actually seen. Oh, and we have a leather coat. Again.
Is that supposed to be leather?
Suede or velvet. If it's velvet, that's
Yeah.
epically appropriate. I think... I can't tell yet.
Yeah, that's suede.
That's a suede. Guys, why do you... In the olden days, they didn't wear leather coats. It wasn't a thing. Stop doing it.
Very
That
true.
will breathe for anything. It'll
That's
be
very
terrible.
true. I bet that smells terrible.
Oh, God, yeah. You can't clean those well. Like, that is... Ugh.
I bet that smells real bad.
Get a shower, straight in the shower with that still on. You'll be fine.
It's upsetting the dogs. Like, they're upset.
They know. They know.
They know. They can tell. And Subi, being the princess that she is taking out her aggression on Griff right now because of the suede and the coats. She understands how upset we are about this. She's very sensitive.
Punch the burst. Yes, I wanted to do what you did.
I also wonder why they have their stocks over their collars. Like, usually you lift your collar, you put your stock on, or you wrap around, and then you fold it back down over it.
Yeah. Do you think it's they don't change their shirts, and so they're trying to make the shirt go through the Federalist period?
But even then, you still have it folded over a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, she knows a lot more about men's 18th century dress than I do.
I've made a lot of it.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with okay, we're going with the later high collar thing if we didn't also have the ruffle down the front of the shirt, which is not something, like, it exists, but it's not that common. Like, this is just as typical. So I'm just like, this is a men's shirt.
Yeah. There's
This-
no ruffles.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, you pop that up, and then that would fold over just a little bit. Yeah.
He has 2 pints of Sam Adams, but I'm working on 3.
Knit caps are a thing, guys.
Another suede coat.
Damn it.
With leather lapels. Oh, but the velvet one. I do like the way that they keep the small clothes, like, in that standard, they all have the same buff small clothes and they change out their jackets,
Yeah.
which is, like, incredibly accurate
Yes.
to that time period to have a set of small clothes that matches. The small clothes is the waistcoat and the breeches, and that's really typical for the era.
I like how Marquis de Lafayette is in velvet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hercules Mulligan. Because he's a tailor, I appreciate that he has a knit cap on, like, a la McCarty.
Knitted caps were a thing, guys.
The revolution's imminent. What do you stall for?
If you stand for nothing, bro.
Also, the fact that they're all in boots. Those boots you can't walk comfortably in, man. Like, they're not walking boots. If you've ever done horse riding and worn horse riding boots, it's those.
Why is his coat so long?
I think it's supposed to be a greatcoat.
But there's no Kate, what?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a greatcoat, but choices.
That is really awkward looking. I mean, if this was clearly a banyan or a wrapping gown, then I would have been like, oh, he did go full, like, McCartian.
Yeah, if that was a banyan or wrapping gown, I'd be so excited. That'd be so perfect. But I think it's an attempt at, like, a great coat combined with a frock coat.
Yeah.
To spend his spree, he ain't never gonna set his descendants free. So
I also want to take all the men's shoulder seams and, like, bring them up in, like, narrow those shoulders, man.
check what we got. Mr. Lafayette, hard rock like Lancelot.
Did they do shots in the 18th century?
I don't think so. I was just wondering that.
What would you shot in the 18th century?
Would it be a Jack or a Jill? Because that's the. Hold on, I have Jack and Jills.
It just seems like against most of the alcohol types that they would have had at this point in time. Like, I have shot 18th century style rum before. I generally. Maybe it was like that stuff I brought to the Caribbean.
I have no idea.
Okay, but on another note.
Oh god, I think I touched it. Oh, frick. Okay. God. So I think the Jack is the bigger one, and then the Jill is the smaller. This is, I think, the closest thing to an 18th century shot glass.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like what alcohol you would want to shot. Pour that into a whole lot of stuff to make punch, and you can go a lot further with it, and then you don't realize that you just drank that much.
I don't know how fathoming the bowl would have worked though in this scene. Like
Big porcelain bowl that gets passed around when we all.
That's happened.
A lot. I find it interesting that they had to oversize the armholes of the waistcoat so they could move when all they really needed to do was cut them in that direction, like bring them in off the shoulders, and then you have like full movement. Like that's the trick of the 18th century. You could do tight as long as you keep your arm size in and over.
Whoa! Whoa, what was that?
Also lacing up the back on the gown, why?
That's not... I get it. That doesn't actually bother me.
Like, I know why they did it, because that's their way in and out of the costume, but...
If you think about it as a smooth covered stays with sleeves...
Yeah.
Then that's what it is. They don't have stays on underneath of that.
Yeah,
the bodice itself is boned.
Like, you can see where all the inspirations came from. I'm just like, oh, why?
I would have preferred that they had had them spiral laced.
Yeah, that was the other thing. Like, if things are spiral laced, I think I'd give it more of an excuse.
The silks are beautiful. I like how they sisters' colors are like complementary.
The colors are wonderful and very perfect for the time period.
Like they're
the silks,
great.
Those choices were great. The piping,
The fit of the sleeves are irritating me because I'm just like the wrinkles all over the place.
Yeah, and there should be more like fullness there. That's one of the reasons why like they have wrinkles everywhere else is because they don't have enough room to move.
Yeah.
So they had to put in fullness other places that just doesn't make sense. Things are fit a certain way in the 18th century for a reason. We don't fit them like that anymore because all of our clothing is stretchy.
And what about Boston? Look at the cost and all that we've lost, and you talking about.
It's like Instagram right now and Facebook. No. What this is Hamilton is TikTok. And Samuel Seabury's Facebook.
Yeah.
Moving on. Oh gosh! Jesus! Wow!
He was...
Oh, the spit. Oh god. The half. I just want to like wipe his face!
Because he can't. You know he can't. But the audience can't see that. That's the problem.
Oh, you would have seen that spittle go across the stage and be like, oh shit.
He's into it.
I feel bad for whoever had to put all the black flecks into that faux fur to make it look like ermine.
Mm-hmm. They spent like a lot of effort and money on that costume.
Yeah.
For the effect on that, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, outfit change already? Okay.
Yeah, and see, these ones I do like. Because they have like the cutaway style to them.
Well, now we know why they lace up the back and okay, there are much faster changes than what we realized.
Yeah, and then I think it's the same
change.
petticoats they were wearing, and then they just put the gowns over instead of the jacket bodice. Why? I know, dogs! It's so terrible! Why would you put a veil on her? and accept the modern hair, but like a veil.
I'm sorry, I don't think to tell the story that needed to be done.
Like, I'm sure there's some way that you can show that without
Reverence.
literally putting a veil on her, which is like,
Ugh. My life was so much better with the song when I didn't realize that she was
in a
wearing
veil.
this.
A big.
I'm like, is it Mulligan's coat or the veil right now that's upsetting me more? I think the veil. I think the veil has surpassed Mulligan's coat. This upsets me. I am disturbed.
It just doesn't look right.
No, it looks really dumb. Ooh! She prego!
I appreciate the fact that they did that with stays still over it.
Yeah, like that's a great. Yes, that is correct. What is the
Piping,
Piping?
weird things. I don't know on that, but I appreciate the like. I think they based it on the. Is it Williamsburg that has that?
quilted?
Yeah, I think they kind of based the like lacing front thing off of.
Yeah. I mean that's awesome. Like
Yeah.
and the silhouette is it's dead on and she has a kerchief on. Yay. The neckline's a little high.
Narrow.
Yeah, it's doing the baby butt thing. If it was me wearing that, it would look like I had a baby's butt coming out.
Everyone give it up for America's favorite button Frenchman.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they like properly put Lafayette in this.
I'm so pissed!
I don't know what he's wearing,
guns!
but okay.
So the battle shifts.
That's like what.
And he does it in a French accent. Like, that's what's insane. Like, only is it so fast, it's in a French accent.
But he is wearing, I think, what Lafayette wore when he visited America in like 1880s. Like, I'm coming back, guys. I'm like, what is this? You're like 20, 30 years off.
Insane. You cheat with the French.
What?
It's him spitting all over again.
Oh, did he spit again? I missed it. Damn it. Oh, Jesus, it's just like there on his mouth.
I think part of it's because he's doing this,
Yeah.
and that is really hard.
Wow. He needs a hair flip. So why is Hamilton in like, 70s, early 80s, and now we have Burr in like 90s?
He's properly 80s, like with a little full back, like a little higher chest. If it was a little higher button on the chest, I think it'd feel very 80s. The cutaway, like it's 80s, but the lapel and the collar, like it's 90s. And then he's in proper, like, late 90s.
Yeah. Unfortunately, now I'm just confused.
Yeah, I'm like, I was gonna use this as telling what year it was because I know the history, but not that well. But I have a feeling, considering it's our first murder trial, it's probably still in the early 80s.
I was chosen for the Constitutional Convention.
Okay, yeah. Still early 80s, then yes.
Yeah. Okay, so Burr is the one who's off.
And they might just be doing that as like a way to like keep him going for a while. Like that's just his outfit that he wears for a while. Oh, we're going for Brunswick.
Ooh, yeah, okay. Little ridey habity. Oh,
Yeah.
they like interfaced her skirts. That's weird. And I want to know why Eliza's back in like her opening scene dress. It's intermission. So we're eating cookies. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, like I said, my only big complaint aside from what the hell was that moment, the limiting factor of the fit of things. Like, they chose good fabrics, they chose the right aesthetics, like there's clearly a lot of research put into it. The people that made the garments, like, there's good quality in those. Like,
The breeches never fit right, ever. It doesn't matter what movie, production.
it's hard to
It's
do that.
really hard, and men get really uncomfortable with like the whole bubble butt concept, even though like it doesn't look as bad as what men think it does. Like when I see like a really tight pair of breeches and a bubble butt, I'm like, hey,
it balances somehow.
Yeah,
like
it
it balances
works,
out
fine.
the way the body shape works. But
Yeah.
in the 18th century, proportions are incredibly important.
Yes.
And if you're a little bit off in the body shape and the fullness in certain places, it starts to get obvious.
Well, I think too probably like the bagginess like of the bubble in the booty, and then when you have a really well fit waistcoat and like the way they should stand.
Yeah, you get a very
It has
puffed
a
chest.
nice curve to it, like to the men's silhouette.
It's almost S-bend in a little bit.
Yeah, it is. I was thinking that. It's like S-bendy a little bit, and I don't think, because like that's what Leslie Odom Jr. is doing so well. It's like, he stood there and he said, I was like, oh, he's wearing those clothes. They're not wearing him. Lin-Miranda, you can tell he's not as comfy in the costumes.
Yeah.
Like, he's a little more like...
He wears it the same way that he wears his modern suits. He didn't amend his movement or his posture or anything. And the one thing that we definitely learned wearing those clothes all the time was you change how you move. You change how you sit down, how you work, and like how you stand changes.
Obviously the very strong hip hop vibe and like trying to bring that out. I can understand like where Lin would want to be able to do some of those things. You know, when you're standing there in that suit and you are Burr and Hamilton and Washington and you stand there, it's like your chest needs to go out and your shoulders need to go back. Hold that space and command that space. You know, even if Burr's suit didn't fit any better than anyone else's, it looked 1,000 times better because of how he carried himself in it. Which is really nice. That was real nice. I liked that a lot.
Yes. Velvet waistcoat. See, I fully encourage the like non-accuracy of whatever you do to Jefferson. Whatever you can make him do to make him Jefferson.
Jefferson. God, that man.
Yeah, and like in gilt silver embroidered greatcoat. Like, what's that?
Why is his coat so long?
Yeah, that's the only problem. Like, the long coat thing seems terribly inconvenient to move around in. Like, I'm worried about him tripping.
Hercules Mulligan as now James Madison's hilarious to me. Madison used to be like this big.
Yeah, they've got some weird amount. Oh God. Okay.
What?
The back of his coat, like it's so low. Like
Jefferson's?
Jefferson's, yeah, where it actually like stops being seams. It just looks awkward. Okay.
That's not okay.
I want him to be far more dapper. Like, I appreciate the use of the velvet and the purple.
Yeah.
I like it, but I wanted him to be more fit. Like, he was really obsessed with having his clothes very, like...
Well, yeah, and it's like he's been in France. They wanted to put him in something and, like, the music and everything to kind of show that he's been, like, out of the loop. But fashion-wise, he would have been ahead of the loop because he would have been in France. I think I would have preferred him coming in like, some really garish, striped... like coat,
full out, like just like, gussied up, very French,
like and just super spangly, like
Playboy looking,
I have feelings. I don't like any of this. What are these 17th century weird ass sleeve things happening?
They're like in like a linen or something too. Like they're not the same silk as the gown.
At least the cuffs aren't winged. That's small favors. I'm sorry. From a historic perspective and like theatrical perspective. Okay, so you want to do red because she's a slut. I think for it being the late 80s, I think if they had put her actually in like a chemise gown, the sophisticated humor of putting her in a gown that is referred to as also an undergarment would have been like, we would have appreciated that pun. Yeah, if she had an underpetticoat underneath of it because it was so sheer and it was red, so you saw bits of red. So there's like
this walking in because it feels very like bedroomy. And honestly, I think that would put her apart from the sisters even more so.
Loose and not structured.
Yeah, because she's very loose and comfortable and like, look at me, I'm free and easygoing and like, and this will be fun. Versus like she looks like she's still part of that same trio.
Yeah,
just in a weird, like not appropriate color.
Like like Peggy has like an evil twin.
Yes, this is Peggy's
like
evil
Peggy's
twin.
Evil twin. And Peggy. I don't like this costume at all. I don't like the artistic choices. I don't like.
It seems like they went the easy.
New money dresses like fake royalty.
That's rich coming from you, Crushed Velvet. I think at that point, I would have preferred Lin to actually take his coat off, so his sleeves and his waistcoat, and then like jumped in like that. It's like, oh, you know that 18th century men are serious when they take their coats off. I really hate this crushed velvet couch and ditto thing.
I think that's what's bothering me about their sleeves and their ruffs. Because the sleeves are not bent, they're standing like awkward. They've got this awkward, like their hands are a little bit out in front of them, but they just like, they don't know what to do with their hands and they're standing still. Whereas like men's coats forced you to bend your arms a little bit more. So your elbows are properly at your side. I think that's what's bothering me, is that because their sleeves are not cut the way that they're supposed to be, there's nothing forcing them to stand correctly and they just look like dead puppets right now.
In Crushed Velvet. They got murdered.
It's a Muppet.
Muppets got murdered.
Look back at the Bill of Rights, which I wrote.
Oh, Madison.
Sweet Madison.
Oh, baby. A pewter decanter. Pewter goblets. Wine glasses? Hey, guys. They had glass in the 18th century. Just saying. Crystal.
Like, pewter was used in wartime because it wouldn't break as easily and you could just chuck it into your... But honestly, Washington, even in wartime, carried like an entourage, literally just truckloads.
Yeah.
of stuff like crystal.
George Washington liked nice things.
Yeah.
He married into money. And he spent it. The pewter decanter.
It just doesn't quite make sense to my brain.
It's just so dumb.
Looks like a genie lamp.
It's like, oh, it's oldie timey. I'm bored.
Yeah,
I'm picking my nails. I'm bored. I'm like expecting like a really short, squat Martha to come like waddling out and be like, "Come on, George.
Let's go hang out.
Martha's bored."
Come over here, honey.
Yeah, come on, come back to mama. I was wondering how they were gonna like progress this like man's mental state.
I know he shouldn't be my favorite character, but it's just...
It's so good.
You know it wasn't originally like that. He just happened to like sit down on the stool while they were practicing. They're like, it's funny, stay there.
Yeah.
I saved every letter you wrote me.
Oh, it's smocked.
The moment I read them, I
On the
knew
sleeves too.
Yeah. This is supposed to be 90s. I would have preferred her sleeves be a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, like, the sleeves not bad. It's just...
Yeah, it's more like 1805.
Yeah, it just feels
1808,
like you say, it's just like generic.
Yeah, generic
Regency.
Regency, which is a little too early for that.
But then it's like it's gathered in the front, so we're not getting enough boob.
It's not very flattering.
Like, yeah,
It
it's
could be
like
really pretty.
It's like more boob, longer sleeves. At least like the shoulder straps. It's like I like that. I appreciate that.
It just feels very 1970s.
It does. Even the ribbon around her waist.
Yeah, because it's Pico edged.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels very 1970s to me.
Last week,
Okay.
4th of July speaker. He disparaged my
Oh, look at that
That's cute.
Spencer.
I like that. I like that idea of like little Spencer's over. We need to talk about our sleeves later.
I'm just too busy crying. They're way too big.
Yeah, she's gone like full 1815, but like 1890s at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, focus on the sleeves, focus on the sleeves.
Can't I have big fifis?
Fifi's as big as those sleeves.
Yeah, they're real big.
I feel so bad for her.
I know, that's like why I'm like, God.
Ugh. I'm
Stubby,
I am
stop.
Damn.
Stubby, big Fifi's part, okay?
Man,
This
that
big
is-
feelings
You gotta buy
part.
me drinks before you go to that base. I just don't know why all these men in this time you're like, let's write everything we feel publicly. Like,
Yeah.
it has to be declared in a pamphlet. Like, if they had just written to each other, it'd be fine.
Or I don't know, sit down,
Yeah.
have some tea, talk about their feelings. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what medieval inspired velvet thing that, I don't know.
Okay, pre-Raphaelite.
Yeah, she somehow made it to the 1890s. I don't know what sort of
She went
future
from being
world.
like super old-fashioned to being like, okay, where'd we go? This just ended up over here. I'm like, I like how they made it about her at the end.
Now, can we get a musical about Mrs. Adams next?
Yeah.
Like,
Shut that. All right. We just watched Hamilton.
choices were made.
Some of them good choices.
Research was definitely done.
Yes. The veil. I'm emotionally drained from like the last half of the second act. I think, okay, so second act, just in general, starts off super strong, super boring,
Then comes back again.
and then it just destroys you.
Yeah.
At the end. Like,
Yeah,
it's just like,
you thought you were bored. Nah.
haha.
No, now.
Just like girding your
Feelings.
loins.
All the feelings.
For the big fifis.
But then they just kind of like go all over the place with time period in the clothing. Like that
Yeah.
was the thing that kept getting me. I was like, wait, what are we? Where are
Yeah.
we? What are? Okay, like
Yeah.
for something where they don't announce constantly what year it is,
Yeah.
I feel like having a very clear, and I know not everybody is historically savvy in terms of seeing that, but seeing a gradual progression in the clothing that did occur, because it doesn't just suddenly jump to something. Like I felt looking at the costumes, if you had laid them all out, I would have assumed that story took place over way more time, but it's really actually fairly compact.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish that there had been a very gradual shift through the whole thing, so it shows a slow adjustment, but at no point does it just suddenly go, BAM! 1820s with giant sleeves, even though
Yeah.
it's still 1800. Like,
Yeah. Like that
Right.
was, it was almost as if he got tired designing the second half.
yeah,
and he was like, Empire counts.
And the menswear changed very gradually. Like, they had a few little blips where they pushed ahead
Yeah.
at some points before they should have, but then, gradually everyone else caught up with that person.
I didn't like
No.
how childlike, soft, and innocent. The costume did nothing to help that progression.
Yeah.
Okay, we put her in a black police riding goat thing from like the 1815s to show she's in mourning. It's like, okay, that's great, but I can still see the baby blue underneath. Like, I can still see that.
Yeah, she needed one more thing in there.
Yeah.
Like, one more change into
Yeah.
something that was...
Adult.
Like, that was the point that she should have moved into an 1815 or something. Because it would have been nice to see her, as she's like, this is the story I'm telling, suddenly move into a outfit that looks unlike everyone else's.
Overall, I really liked it. I will watch it again.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for hanging out with us on this Sunday as we watched Hamilton. If you want to check out Nicole, she is on TikTok. Again, Close Call. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next week. If you are interested, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to hang out with me some more, I also have a Patreon. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your week, and see you next time. Okay? Bye! You know, my mom's watching this right now going, Abby, why are you wearing the caftan?
It's linen. It's appropriate. Seasonally, like...
Yeah, I don't wear the caftan! That's what I'm
She
sorry.
she got artful with an 18th century apron is really what happened here, and...
Yes, you're right. It's, that's exactly what happened. What was he called on Reddit? The sexy tailor or the hunky tailor?
The hunky tailor.
She's just looking like she rolled out of a romance novel. I feel like lesbian TikTok is gonna go like, or like bisexual TikTok's gonna go crazy for this right now. If our marriages don't work out, just FYI.
Hi, ladies.
TikTok, what does it do? Just show believable women that we're all actually bisexual. Whoa, ma'am.
I know. Why all of a
Why?
sudden?
Guys,
Why?
seriously?
Why?
And that's not how you're gonna bonk your head, you're gonna give yourself a concussion. Oh, yeah, I told you that was gonna happen. Do-do-do, do-do.
He was a fancy man from Virginia.
I don't think I'll put that in. This video's gonna be like us reacting and then the dogs just being assholes the entire time. Like, oh, you all think my dogs are cute.
I'm just gonna sip some tea. Too